In this video, we will give you an overview of push-pull operations. We'll be following the format and highlighting important points from your Cascade Operator's Guide so you can follow along if you wish. Some of the components of the push-pull include the faceplate, the platens, the gripper bar, the slip sheet, and the unitized load. Never allow anyone to ride on your platens or use your push-pull as a man-lift platform. Never allow anyone to reach through the mast, especially when someone is sitting in the driver's seat or the truck is running. Never allow anyone to walk under your load or platens. Always back down ramps and drive forward going up ramps. Make sure your load is within the rated capacity of the lift truck and attachment combination. The net capacity should be stamped on the truck's nameplate. At the beginning of your shift, give your push-pull a quick walk around. Check the platen tips for nicks and burrs. Check to make sure there are no leaks in the fittings and hoses. Check all the mounting hooks that they are tight and correctly positioned. And finally, give the push-pull a couple of cycles just to be sure everything is working correctly before putting it to work. Push-pull controls vary from truck to truck. The sequence recommended by the Industrial Truck Association is side shift on the third handle, forward for left, back for right, and push-pull on the fourth handle. Push is forward, pull is back. We recommend a non-skid coating, but if loads seem to be sticking when you pull them onto your platens, you can apply paraffin or a spray-type silicone to reduce the friction between the platens and the slip sheet. Slip sheet loads should be positioned no more than 1/4 of an inch behind the tab fold line. Always be sure your load is firmly banded or stretch-wrapped and unitized. Never pick up sloppy or poorly distributed loads. To pick up a load with a torn or damaged tab, first try to grip the sheet beyond the damaged area. If you are unsuccessful, tilt the mast forward and chisel under the load, wedging both tips under the torn slip sheet. Once you have the load, place it on a new slip sheet. To begin a floor pickup, align your platens squarely with the load. Tilt the mast forward until your tips touch the floor, and drive the truck forward so the slip sheet tab nests in the gripper opening. Now begin retracting the faceplate. The gripper jaw will automatically clamp the slip sheet. At the same time, begin driving forward at approximately the same speed as the faceplate. Tilt the mast back and raise the load 3 to 4 inches off the floor. There are situations where it is impossible to use the pull and drive forward method. In these instances, just pull the load onto the platens. If the tab is bent against the load, you can carefully use your platens to get the tab back into position. We strongly advise against placing the truck in neutral and allowing the push-pull to push the truck backwards. This places unnecessary force against the load and can cause costly product damage. To load your push-pull from a pallet, tilt the mast forward and place the tab in the gripper. Raise the platen about 1 inch above the pallet and pull the load onto the platens. Tilt the mast back and transport the load as normal. To pick up a load from a stack, first align the platens with the load. Raise the platens just above the tab, tilt the mast 3 to 4 degrees forward, and ease forward so the slip sheet tab fits into the gripper jaw. Apply your brakes and then begin retracting the faceplate. As you pull the load onto the platens, they may deflect downward. Raise the carriage slightly to compensate for this. Tilt the mast back and lower the load to 3 to 4 inches above the floor. You are now ready to transport the load. When loading your push-pull with a load from a truck trailer or rail car, Make sure the trailer is secured in the loading dock before proceeding. Recommended practice calls for dock plates to be the same width as the trailer door. This provides you with the best access to the load. If the position of the trailer or load does not give you access to the slip sheet tab, the first load may be taken out without the dock plate. As you approach the trailer, the platen should be squared with the load. Grip the tab and pull the load onto the platens. Side shift to square the load and make room for removal, then back away. When unloading on a stack, tilt the mast forward about 2 degrees and place the load 6 inches from the load edge. Slowly reverse the truck and lower the load while the load is being pushed off the platens. It is important that the top and bottom tabs are matched up. Make sure all slip sheet tabs are in the up position so they are not damaged by the next load. To unload onto a pallet, tilt the mast forward and position the load about 6 inches over the pallet. Then move forward until the end is about 4 inches from the very end of the pallet. Lower the platen tips until they are just above the pallet. Push the load forward until it is squarely centered and the front edge is resting securely on the pallet. Continue pushing and begin backing the truck away at the same speed as the load is being pushed. Before you unload your forklift load into a truck or rail car, make sure the trailer or rail car has been leveled with the dock. When you're going over a dock plate, you may need to raise the platen slightly higher than the recommended 3 to 4 inches to clear it. Once you're inside the trailer or rail car, move the load to a point about 4 inches from the sidewall and 10 to 12 inches behind the final load location. Side shift the load next to the side wall. Tilt the mast forward until the platen tips are about 1/2 inch off the floor. Push the load onto its final position. The front of the load should now be on the floor. That's an overview of the push-pull operation. Your operator's manual also covers other important topics, including sheet save operation, attachment removal and installation, platen adjustment, faceplate stop adjustment, and specific OSHA regulations concerning industrial trucks and attachments.